Fix that fucking fan. Hear what I'm saying to you, boy?
No.
You hear what I told you?
Okay. Good to go.
All right. Oh, I sound amazing. Hey, you, shut the fuck up. We're starting the goddamn show. Hello. Welcome, folks. Welcome to the very first episode of The Real Bucket. I'm your host, A.R. Green, a.k.a. Mr. Birthday, and
Aaron.
This is Aaron, my co-host here, Aaron D. Ball, A.D. Ball. Yeah, that's your initials. And yeah, so today, as you can see from the title, we are going to be talking about Watchmen theories. So anyway, we're going to jump right into it. Okay, so I just finished the entire season. I think it was last night or the day before, and no, it was last night, and I thought about it all day while I was at work. First of all, I liked it. I did enjoy it. It was good. The acting was good. Dr. Manhattan was surprising, to say the least. A lot of dick pics. a lot of Dr. Manhattan dick. Yeah. Black dick. Black Dr. Manhattan dick. Blue black dick. Blue. They showed it a lot. And just, yeah. Anyway, so my theory, and now, folks, this is coming from, I've only seen one review of the show, and that was for episode 1. But I haven't listened to any reviews from anybody else for the entirety of the show. I haven't read anything. This is completely unbiased, what I think about the theory of the show as a whole.
Yeah. I mean, I've listened to one.
Yeah,
I forgot who it was.
Well, let me say what I think about it. Then you can tell us what you think. I would love once I finish, and obviously once you finish, to hear what you guys have to say in the comments below, because yeah, this was interesting. So I thought about it very deeply, and I honestly believe the entirety of the show, mind you, not the comic. I don't know anything about the comic. I didn't tie this into the last movie. Just for this show, I feel like it's a big fuck you to God and Christianity as a whole. And hear me out. Don't get the pitchforks yet. I truly believe the show is pretty much saying how there just can't be a God. That God just doesn't exist. And there's a hint in there with Dr. Manhattan when he loses memory and he's with Regina King, and I think that he was in the kitchen cooking something. Yeah. And one of the kids asks, what happens after you die? And he's like, nothing. There's
nothing. There is no God.
There's no God. There's nothing. And the show really heavily, very heavy, in my opinion, sends that message. So let me break this down. Dr. Manhattan, when he killed all those people in Vietnam, I think it was going off of the Bible when God, destroyed the world and, killed everybody, and then he said he would never do that again. Yeah. I think that it was a symbolism for that, because after he killed all those people in Vietnam, and then Ozymandias, dropped the squid on everybody, yeah. Dr. Manhattan left. Ozymandias tricked him, right? Yeah. He didn't know that was going to happen, and I think it bothered him so much that he left humanity as a whole, or we thought he left.
Yeah. Well, he did technically.
He technically left. Yeah. And if you notice throughout the show, he doesn't physically interfere Unless, like, when Regina King was in danger. But hear me out. He doesn't physically interfere like the way, that you would think, that he could.
Yeah.
In any events, not in the, the whole, with the Tulsa thing, everything, all this bad shit going on around the world. He never really truly interferes. He goes off and he tries to make his own utopia. And because I feel like he everything he does it in a way where that person is making their own decision to do it. He never takes away anybody's free will. He knows what they're going to do, but he doesn't change it. He just makes it work to his advantage. But he never truly takes away their free will. And he never really gets involved in anything, with the whole white supremacy thing. He didn't stop that because I feel like he didn't want to repeat Vietnam. And the whole message of them were saying, well, if you're God and you have all this power and you are the most powerful being in existence and you're letting all of this happen, you have way more responsibility to fix these things. And his outlook on it was, no, that's not my place. If I go around just killing everybody I think is wrong, then what does that make me? Like, the people started to hate him for it because they believed that, he stopped listening, he stopped caring. And the fact that he was hiding as a human in plain sight, pissed them off even more. It's like, so you left, came back, and you're still not doing anything. Now you're hiding and you're living the life of a husband and, having kids, and all these other people around the world are suffering and dying.
Yeah.
Now, I honestly believe at the end when Dr. Manhattan dies and she loses her husband and, the grandfather is just like, he's in the house and he goes, yeah, I'm real sorry for your loss, but he could have done more. In the same sentence. He's like, yeah, I'm sorry for your loss, but your husband could have done more. He's a piece of shit.
Knowing who he is,
right.
Yeah,
And I feel like it's saying that, like, God in general, like, God, all this bad stuff is happening in the world, and if God is all powerful, God is omnipotent, and he could just come down and snap his fingers and take away all the bad guys, but he doesn't. And it's the same thing as Dr. Manhattan. Dr. Manhattan can come down, take out all the bad guys, but he doesn't.
But I think, going into, your theory as far as him saying that God doesn't exist, right. I think he believes in part that God does exist, but he should not be playing God. Because I think he can't wrap his mind around, even when he helps out in Vietnam.
Right.
He says, well, what am I doing that says that I'm doing something right? Whose side am I picking? Right. If I was Vietnamese, if this happened in Vietnam, would I be with them or would I be with America?
Yeah.
Whose side would I be on?
Yeah,
so am I just deciding? Because she was like, why did you do? Well, why did you do? And he was like, well, because at the time I felt it was the right thing to do.
Right.
But didn't you know it was going to be a mistake after you said it? And he's just like, yeah, but
And that's the thing. It's easy to judge somebody sitting on the outside.
Yeah. And I think that's why when her grandfather basically had that to say about him, I guess that's what kind of made me think about, by the end, once you realize he bestowed his power onto her, I don't think he chose her because he knew he would fall in love with her. I think he wholeheartedly chose her because he knew she had the direct path to become something that was better than what everybody else would have done with the power. I think he knew that she would have eventually have done something better. I understand what you say about him, what he said as far as God.
Yeah.
But he said that under the guise of not knowing who he is.
Let's imagine Dr. Manhattan is God, right?
Yeah.
He basically did what God is doing based
God
on has done based on Christianity. So I feel like
yeah, so you could say, if anything, Regina King is essentially, she's the, quintessential Jesus factor. He is sending down God was only sending down his only begotten son, and he is sending down his one and true.
Jesus was more like dying for humanity's sins.
Yeah.
He didn't really interfere in anything.
Who? Or are you saying
Yeah, he didn't go around, correcting justice.
God didn't?
Jesus did. God did it.
We
once.
don't know what she's done yet. I'm just saying, as far as her,
but I'm pretty sure if she keeps her personality,
some people will die. Yeah. No doubt, though. But what I'm saying is, but that's her own form. You don't know what she may be, more of a beacon of hope than somebody that's going around evaporating people. We don't know one what type of power she'll have, and two, what type of, how do we know how she'll feel about things? He may only change the physicality of her body than more so the mental aspect of it.
I can tell you this. Maybe I'm wrong. It's still, the show's still fresh in my head, but I'm pretty sure there were no bad black people in this entire show. Not one bad black person in the entire show. Is that a thing? Am I wrong? He's thinking, folks. He's thinking.
There was one.
There was one? Who? Who was it there?
The black dude in the panda outfit.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah.
What, remind me, what did he do?
He was an asshole to some people. But at the same time,
I'm not saying anything against it. I still love the show. I just it's something I noticed. It's just like, every black person in this show is okay. It's interesting. But all in all, yeah, that's my theory. I'm sticking to it. I feel very strongly about that. Well, there you go, folks. Our perception of Watchmen. I can understand why. Once again, I only know what people were saying about the first episode, going into the controversy route. Why certain people will feel a certain way watching this show, in particular, especially when they go back in time and Regina King sees everything that the Hooded Justice saw, and the whole Cyclops thing and the white supremacy thing. I can understand why certain people would be like, okay, no, I'm skipping this, because it does get pretty heavy on the whole race thing. So yeah, but other than that, yeah, I really did. I could look personally past it, and I enjoyed it. So yeah, overall good show. Yeah, so that wraps it up, and I hope you guys had it as good as a time as we did listening, as we did talking about it, and we would love to hear your comments. What do you guys think? Do you agree with us? Do you think we're pieces of shit that don't know what the hell we're talking about? Tell us exactly. We don't get offended easily here, so feel free to speak your mind. We look at and read all the comments. So if you want to call us, pieces of shit, hey, we'll take it.
I'll still get offended.
I won't. He will. So if that's fun for you, have at it. So yeah, anyway, folks, that'll wrap it up for us, and we'll see you guys on the next episode.
Goodbye. I'm waving. Put your headphones on. It's just Aaron. You fucking ass.